Hi everyone, welcome back to Brookvalleylife. Well, hello for the first time. Back in the workshop, and today we are making, whatever you want to call it, a string jig. Now, I've been making strings for God knows how long for myself. I have made a couple for people at my local club, and I've been using this it's a Sherwood, it's from the UK, string jig. It's extendable, it's quite flimsy, it's made from metal, which is good, and it's done the job. I also use I also use a string stretching jig I made myself, welded together, and I always stretch my strings to over 300 pounds. So when I first made them, I stretch them 300 pound, leave it for 24 hours. I twist them up, get the right brace height, stretch them again, 300 pounds, check them, make sure my brace height is good. And then I stretch them 300 pound and put the centre serving on. That's how I do mine. I've had no issues at all with them. And yeah, pretty good. But I want to make another string jig. One which I can put on there, different size strings. And I think I'm going to go from about a 60-inch string to a 74-inch, not string, but bow. So I can cover a lot of areas there. If I need to, I can then adjust it if I need to make cables from a compound bow and stuff like that, and see how it goes. So stay with me and let's see how I'm going to produce this string jig here in my archery workshop. So first of all, thanks to everyone who's subscribed. If you are here and you've not subscribed, please consider doing so. Lots of good content, lots more to come, all archery related, and we may have some other DIY stuff as well coming shortly. Yeah, lots of things happening. But as I said, today, string jig. So what's the first thing I'm going to do is just show you what I've got and what I'm going to be using to make my string jig. So went to the local big box store. Here we have Bunnings or Mitre 10 usually, and this was from Bunnings, so thank you Bunnings. It's difficult to try and find any steel over here, so I managed to get some of this stuff, which I believe is let's have a look. I think it's 40 by 40 by 1.6. That's upside down, but hopefully you can see that. 2 meter in length. So that should cover any string I'm going to use. I then got some 20 by 20. Hopefully you can see that. By 1.6 by 1 meter in length. That's going to be my cross arms where the point, these bits go. So it's going to be one of those I'm making up. I've got threaded rod, and I believe this is M12. Let's just check. Didn't want to do that, but yeah, so that's M12 by 2mm, zinc plated. That's good. And I had some of this left over from my bow press build, which is a 40mm by 3mm by a meter long. I've already used some of it, and what I'm going to do is bend that to make some legs that will weld on to this piece, and that'll be it. These things aren't going to be broken down. It's going to be like my drawboard there, which is going to be one solid piece. I've got hopefully you can see that under there, my bow press ready to go, and I've got my bow vise as well over on the other side. Everything there is going to help me in my workshop, and this is what I'm going to use. So let's start by just chopping up some bits and getting the right size for everything. So the first part is going to be chopping up the bits that I need. This is going to be cut, this is the 20 by 20. It's going to be cut into 32 centimetre lengths, or 320mm. The uprights I've got are 16mm in diameter, but at the bottom I've turned it down for about 5mm to 12mm, and I've done the same at the top down to, I think it's 8mm just there, so that's what I've got. Let me bring that up so you can see. Hopefully you can see that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole, put that in, and actually weld it in. So made 4 of those. So loud noises. So following day, all we've done is we've cut these cross pieces. I've center punched a hole where I'm going to put the 12mm so we can put the pegs in, and then I'll weld them in. And what I'm going to do now is just drill through each of these, and yeah, they'll be ready to be welded. And it's cold today here in New Zealand. We're going through a bit of a cold spell, so if I sniff, I'm sorry. It was minus 5.9 when I took a temperature outside this morning. So a bit chilly. So here we are back in the workshop. Everything has been built, painted, put together, and here's my string jig. So what I will do, I'll take my other camera and give you a close-up view of what I have done. So we're starting off down at the bottom end, and what I've got is my 40 by 40 tube, galvanized steel tube, and what I've done, I've just welded on a set of flat bar feet, bent them so they sit nicely, one at both ends, as you can see there. And what I did was I drilled a hole just here, and just there, and what I've done is I've taken some threaded rod, I've welded a wing nut on so I can undo it and do it up quite easily. Best if I put it in picture. So this one is stationary, so what I can do is just move it side to side like that, or like that. The pins that I put in are welded in as well. It was just quick put together, so I can put it into there and tighten it up, and it will sit quite nicely in that position. And I put nylon washers underneath, as you can see just there. Don't bother looking too much at the welding, it's just hold it in place. And there we go, that's one end. Now at the other end you will notice there's holes. If I move that and let me go on top, and you can see it says 58, 60, 62, 64, 68. It's in the 70 hole and 72. Then it goes up, and again just on there it's welded on the feet. This means I can actually produce a string anywhere from 72 for a 72 inch bow down to a 58 inch bow. If I want to make it any smaller, I can measure off from that end and drill and put in what I've done, because on the bottom of those you will see that I have welded, it's difficult to see, there we go, that's a bit better, welded nuts all the way along. Yep, so when I screw down it goes into those nuts, and they're welded, tacked on. And again, this one, it can go that way or the other. I know people use channel and they clamp it on the channel and slide it up and down, but I know if I put it in, say, that hole, it will come out as a string for a 62 inch bow. Simple as that. 60 inch bow, the main ones I do are 68 and 70. I have got a 64 for one of the young lads, and I'm thinking of getting a 27 inch riser, so I'll need a 72 inch, or if I use shorter limbs, back to 70. And there we go. You'll notice it's in blue again. Let me go down there all the way, and yeah, there is my string jig. It works pretty well. I make my own strings, as I say, and it's good. So I've got everything now complete. I've got the string jig, I've got the drawboard all set up, ready to go. I've got my bow press, and I've got the bow vise. This thing, price wise, I think it was $10 for the metal there, another 10 for there. These were just offcuts. I think it was $4 for the wing nuts, and another, I think it was $5 or $6 for the threaded rod, and I've still got a load of threaded rod. So maybe 40 Kiwi dollars at the most to make a string jig. The nylon washers I already had, so a lot of this stuff I had, so flat bar I already had from my bow press. Yes, worked really well. So there we are. So if you've enjoyed this build, let me put that down, of the homemade string jig. This is the endless loop string jig, by the way, And so what I do is I make the string on here and I put it onto a jig I've got, which stretches it to over 300 pounds. I'll leave that for 24 hours minimum, so it's nice and stretched. So first thing I do is put it on this, and I put the end servings on. Then I put it onto the string ring and I stretch it before twisting it. Then I put it onto my bow. I set my brace height for what I want. Then I stretch it again for another 24 hours. Once that's done, I get a leather glove and I go up and down just to get it nice and warm and get the wax that's already on the string into those fibers that have been twisted. It makes it more round without any ridges on there. And then I put the center serving on nice and tight when it's in the 300 pound jig. And so when I do release it, it actually cinches down and makes it really solid. And I've had no issues of my center servings coming apart at all, which is really good. So if you have enjoyed this little series of building stuff for the workshop, please hit like, subscribe, all the other good things that YouTube want you to do. I've got some more videos I need to make. I've got a set of limbs that I need to review. I've got a compound bow to review, and I've got a new target butt to review. Plus I've come across another shop here in New Zealand, up in Auckland, but they do really good priced gear. So a quick shout out to Auckland Archery Supplies, and I will do a review on them and what they've sent me, because I've ordered a couple of bits and bobs from them. So things to watch out for. I will say bye-bye for now. Keep shooting. It's the only way you're going to get better, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.